Hey, morning folks. John with Raven Off-Road here. Out on the trails today, and I figured what better place than on the trails to do an updated walkthrough of my truck. So I did a walkthrough earlier, I think it was back in June, but I've done a lot since then to the truck, so this is more of kind of like an update. I'm still going to hit everything like this was a new walkthrough, just to make sure that I cover everything. But if you've seen the other one, that you'll recognize the updates and the things that I've upgraded. If you hear me hooting and hollering and whistling, that just means the dogs have wandered a little too far. So without further ado, let's hit wheels and suspension. All right, so for the wheels and suspension setup, I've got Rock Tricks Amazon specials. They're 17x9 with a -12 offset. I originally had HD Patrol with the 1552s with a 0 offset, but I liked the bronze color on the Magma Red, so hence the upgrade to these. For tires, I've got the Cooper Discover STT Pros. Size will be a 315 70/17, so a 35 for all intents and purposes. I love how they ride. Definitely make the truck look a whole lot better with the 35s on it. Some nice poke too, since I've taken the aftermarket fender flares off and put the OEM ones back on. I'll discuss that here in a bit. For suspension on the front, I've got Icon. They're the 2.5 coilovers with the external res. As you can see, I've routed the external res down here underneath where I've removed the front crash bar and of course cut the rear crash bar to make the 35s fit. And then I've got the neoprene Icon cover over it, and a lot of that's just to keep the mud and dirt out while off-roading, and then since I'm up here in the North Country, keeps the salt and the snow and all that nasty junk out of the springs. For upper control arms, Freedom Off-Road in silver, and that's just because the lift in the front I've done 2.5, so I just wanted to kind of keep all my front geometry where it's supposed to be, so my CV angles aren't too crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's the front. I haven't really done much more to the front suspension than that. Moving on to the rears, I originally had Icon 2.0 rear shocks, but I have since found a set of Gen 1 Raptor Fox rears with the external res. Found those on Facebook Marketplace for a absolute steal. The guy actually has a company that rebuilds shocks, and he finds old busted shocks and rebuilds them, and he actually Cerakoted these and coated them for the winters up here up north, and he got an absolute steal. So shout out to him. He knows who he is if he's watching this. Amazing job. Surprisingly, the truck rides absolutely amazing. If you know shocks, you know that Fox and Icon are two different styles of shocks, valving wise, progressive versus digressive. And it's been an absolute just amazing ride with both of these on. Actually rides better than the Icon. Granted, I had Icon only 2.0 rears, but it rides beautifully both on and off-road. For rear lift block, it's a 3-inch block in the rear. You can see it under there, with upgraded U-bolts. So that gives me a perfect rake of about 3/4 of an inch for when I tow the boat during the spring and summertime, so I'm not looking all kinds of crazy squatted. So again, Gen 1 Raptor rears bolt right in. As you can see with that -12 offset from the wheels, I mean, that poke is subtle, but it's nice. That's kind of what I prefer. Same thing over here. So you got Gen 1 in the rear, and then Moving forward to the icons with the Freedom Off-Road upper control arms in the front. All right, now that we've covered wheels, tires, and suspension, we'll do the exterior. For the front, I had the Addictive Desert Designs Pro Bolt-On. This is the version 2 bumper. Again, another Facebook Marketplace find. So not paid MSRP. I think MSRP is like 2,600 bucks on this. I definitely did not pay that. And the guy actually, he had rhino lined, or bed lined the bumper. So I was like, even better. I kind of like that look. I did not put the skid plate that comes with it, and the main reason behind that is this bracket right here. So you can see it kind of bends down and then goes over. When you put the skid plate on up around here, you have to flip this over so it kind of raises. So it cuts off about 1 inch of space from off-road lights, and so they were kind of jammed up in here, and they were literally pointing at the ground almost. So non-functional, so I just took that off. The off-road lights are Harbor Freight brand. Great lights. I have not had a problem with them at all. They've stayed waterproof. They've stayed fine. White bright light. I can't remember the lumens on each. I think it's 12,000 on each. Don't quote me on that. But amazing off-road at night. Plenty of light. No complaints there. Skid plates. We've got Talon's Garage. I've got the engine, transmission, basically full skid plate package under here from Talon's Garage. I just liked the silver aluminum look. The color scheme on this truck is magma red, silver, and black. So there you go. Beautiful, 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 amazing skid plates. All right, continuing on with the exterior. Lights are, I think, Econ, Amazon specials, basically. Just wanted to change the look from the stock lights. Not the best low beams, I won't lie. I'm going to be switching these out. I can't stand the low beams. High beams are great, and the directional and the daytime running lights look pretty sweet, but low beams, a lot to be desired. I like the look, and it was pretty sad that the low beams don't illuminate much from my stockies, but yeah, again, I like the look. To myself, I can't justify spending $1,800 on a set of headlights. That's just me. But hey, to each their own. For the grill, Scraptor, just the knockoff Raptor grill. I like the look. I did not like the XLT grill. Some people like it, some people don't. Of the people who don't like the XLT grill, I would really like to get my hands on an STX grill, an all black, or even color matched. If I could, the magma red. So that is on the list of upgrades for a possibility. But until then, I'm just going to rock the Scraptor grill and the old 3 lights up top there. So, and that's the front. Again, the ADD bumper, the Talon's Garage skid plates, the Scraptor grill, and the Econ from Amazon headlights. Also, I will be putting all the links to this stuff in the description below. So if you want to pick anything up, go right on ahead. For side steps, rock sliders, call them as you will. Barricade HD from American Trucks. I like the kind of rhino line look that these had on the side to kind of match everything else. Bolt right in. No issues since I had the Super Crew. You do have to really tighten up the bolts a few times to really get them to stick. I've had them on for about a year, so constant getting in and out. Just make sure you're retightening the bolts under there. So they've got the 3 attachment versus the 2, so 2 in the front and then 1 back here. So, and then, you know, they're subtle. I kind of like them because they're a little bit more subtle than the OEM ones. They kind of stick out a little bit more. It kind of keeps everything in line down the side, which I like. You can see both sides. Just again, very subtle. They catch snow a lot, and snow definitely freezes up in there. So I've had to take a hammer and a chisel under there a few times already this winter to kind of get the snow out. But other than that, I mean, it catches stuff. It keeps stuff off the side of the truck, you know, without mud flaps and without fender flares. Fender flare wise, like I did say, I had rough country SF1 fender flares on. Took them off. Truck was starting to look too much like a Raptor, which I didn't want. I do like portions of the Raptor and some looks that I like to integrate in, but I also don't want my truck looking like a knockoff Raptor. So, and incoming dogs. For the rear, the only thing I've really done to the rear is just the little kind of American flag Ford emblem here, keeping everything stock bumper. Eventually I'll upgrade the rear bumper. I mean, that's not on my, oh my gosh, need to do lists of upgrades that I'll discuss at the end of this video. And then while I off-road, I always keep a shackle on the tow mount. This one's actually still on from the other day when I pulled somebody out of a snowbank. I just ended up leaving it on. Let's go around here. Done a few small things like, you know, fuel door. Just kind of replace that with a black one. Oh, ditch lights from Off-Road Town. Again, another Amazon pickup with some Amazon brackets. I think all in total this is like 50 bucks, and I've had these for a year. Amber for the snow, since I'm up here in the North Country, we get a lot of snow. I've had zero issues with these ditch lights. Zero issues for Amazon. They've lasted a year, and I think they're going to keep going. So again, and they're small, they're subtle, they're black. They kind of, you know, to me, I don't like those big, obnoxious, huge, stacked fog light look. If you, or ditch light look, if you do, I mean, that's you. I'm not knocking your style. I just don't like it. So exterior wise, for upgrades, I mean, I'm pretty much where I want to be on the exterior. Like I said, I may do a rear off-road bumper, but I think I'm going to upgrade these headlights to something a little bit better. There's a little bit more illumination down the road. But other than that, I mean, the exterior, suspension-wise, I may, you know, beef up a few small components, you know, tie rods. You know, I've already upgraded the CV axles in the front to something a little tougher than OEM. But, you know, other than that, I mean, exterior-wise, you know, skid plate-wise, I'm good. So maybe a gas tank skid plate in the future, but again, not on my, you know, list of upgrades that I absolutely want to do right now. So with that being said, there's the exterior for kind of a final shot. Just nice and stock looking, and that's how I like it. Again, 3-inch block in the rear, 2.5-inch lift in the front with the icons for 3/4-inch rake. It's like a perfect set for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood. We'll talk under the hood, and then we'll move to the trunk and the inside. All right, so under the hood, we got a 3.5 twin turbo Ecoboost engine. Not a lot of stuff done to it. I'll be honest with you. Just kind of some basic upgrades. I've got a oil catch can that I've installed here. Again, with some piping. I got this off of Amazon. It's like 33 bucks. And then the bigger diameter piping with the inner diameter 5/8. Be careful when you order catch cans off of Amazon. They may send you the 3/8 inner diameter fuel hoses. They will not fit your plugs here. And here, you need 5/8. So just took an L bracket from Home Depot and bolted it in right here instead of mounting to the battery tray like some people do. Just kind of keeps it up and out of the way. And then for air intake, this is CV Fabrications air intake. I did a lot of kind of research on air intakes between the Roush, you know, AFE, InGen, some of the different companies, and stuck with CV Fabrications. And the main reason behind that is, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in planned upgrades, is I'm going to be doing all the turbo piping and the intercooler from CV Fabrications. So just kind of wanted everything to match. I'm a little OCD, but real simple bolt in, you know, to give you two pipes, little bolt in here. So the dual filter and just bolts right in here. Sounds amazing with the turbos, which again, on the Ecoboost, the stock box is more than enough. I ran the stock box with a tune and really haven't noticed anything, you know, major huge differences from the butt dyno, other than the sound. But yeah, it sounds great, and that's all that matters, and it looks great too. Planned upgrades for this, I will be getting a Cobb overflow cover, and then the Cobb radiator shroud up here. Just kind of dress things up, kind of make it look a little bit nice. But other than that, I really don't have any huge planned upgrades for the engine. I love the Ecoboost. It tows great, it handles the snow great, it handles the trails great, and yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna close the hood and we'll move to the truck bed in the interior. All right, for the truck bed, keeping things simple, how I like to do it. Some traction boards here that I've just mounted some bolts in from Harbor Freight, and some straps to the tailgate. This way I can take them off if I need to work on the tailgate. Makes life easier. Mounted here to the side, I've got a shovel, the hatchet that I used to chop down the tree in the last snow wheeling video. And then gas can for the chainsaw. Anything else I might need gas for. Normally the chainsaw sits over here, but yet again, I always keep forgetting to throw it in the truck. I know, I'm terrible. 2 tough boxes back here with some tools. This tough box is kind of camping, overlanding, just general kind of things I might need on the trail. I keep a tent in here for backup. I keep some extra tools, a table, extension cord, just things like that that might need, tarps, stuff like that. The jack is kind of hiding there in the black bag right in the middle. And then this tub is all recovery gear, so hand winch, snatch blocks, soft shackles, kinetic snatch rope, tow rope. I've got a the synthetic winch rope that I use as part of the recovery stuff, tow straps, tree savers, you name it. Pretty much kind of the standard run-of-the-mill recovery gear that you need out on the trail, and I just kind of keep it all there in the tub. Especially during the winter, I find that, and just what happened a week ago, I end up pulling people out of snowbanks up here in the North Country, so I just like to keep it all handy. That way I can just, you know, set up some soft shackles and a you know, tow rope and pull people out of snowbank. But all this extra room's for when I do camping, trail riding. I keep like my mattress back here. I'll throw clothes back here. Anything else I might need, food, cooler, stuff like that. And then during the summer, the boating stuff just stick back here. So tonneau cover, must have up here in the North Country. I refuse to leave my bed open to put anything else on top. So it's just a whole lot nicer with the snow, and it also keeps everything protected under here. So that's it. Let's go ahead and move on into the interior of the truck. All right, going to start here with the back seat. You can see it's a little cluttered, but a lot of stuff back here that I keep. Back seat's down, tiny human rides back here, and I always keep this up, unless of course I've got more people that I need to pile in the back, which I just put it down, and I've kind of rigged everything up here to stay on the Velcro molly pad here that I've got, Amazon special, stuck right to it, so I can just flip the seat down if I need to and then immediately flip it back up when I'm done. But starting with the back seat pad, again from Amazon, sticks right there to the bottom. Just got to make sure you have this, you know, Velcro-y stuff on the bottom of your seat. Scissors, knife, trowel. This little backpack has all my camera gear in it. This is my old backpacking backpack. I just mounted up here. I keep a -20 degree down bag. I keep a summer kind of like 50-degree bag in here, extra waterproof jackets, soft shells, things like that that I might need. Kind of a winter, if you will, sort of survival bag of stuff. Under here this is actually my boating jacket. Very warm, so I like to keep that in the truck as well. Tire repair kit. Normally I have this out, but it's my K-bar on a kind of like a little sling type deal that I can throw over my shoulders and then mount on the other side a holster. Just dog stuff, extra oil, gear oil for the diffs, things like that. I just always like to keep under there. So let me stuff this back here. Also, I like keeping the back seat up because I can just throw the dogs in and call it a day. So they love it. It's this little extra kind of memory foam pad for the dogs. With the seat backs, again, little molly pads I picked up off of Amazon. I got some, you know, headlights here, marine radio that I keep in here for the boat. Don't want to lose it. This bag's actually all the boat stuff. And then a Velcro pocket, and I keep just kind of odds and ends and stuff. My tire deflation kit's in here. I keep a compass, maps, pretty much all the analog navigational stuff I keep in here. All right, continuing on. Somebody had to drive by and I needed to close the door. On the other side, again, another one of those Velcro seat back, or excuse me, molly seat back things from Amazon. I mean, they bolt right in, fit great. Had these for about a year, no issues. This side I keep first aid kit, toiletries, things like that. Under here's my toolbox I keep strapped in there, underneath the seat. And then truck cleaning supplies, you know, interior wipes, glass cleaner, stuff like that. Little can of bear spray is hiding there in the corner. You can see the orange cap from my backpacking days out west. Always keep bear spray. That middle bag that's strapped in is the tire inflation kit, and then a fire extinguisher, and that pretty much sums up the back. I have the seat divider to attempt, and I say attempt, to keep the dogs in the back seat, which usually does not work. For camping, what I will do is I will actually, you know, most of the stuff won't be attached at night. So I'll flip up the seat, I take the toolbox out, and I have a mattress that fits perfectly right in here. Fits in between everything, and even at 6'2", I can curl right up in here, kind of close the doors, and I actually sleep in the back of the truck. So it's really nice. And that's it. That is the back seat, and we will move on to the front here. I also forgot to mention, now that I see him in the back, the last fit, kind of knockoff WeatherTechs. This is the very first thing I bought for this truck. Bought them even before I picked up the truck from the dealership. Had them a little bit over a year. It's been nothing but amazing things to say about them. Just they hose right off. No issues there. For the seats, I have a seat cover for myself as part of the FXR package, and I'll discuss that at the end. I get cat skin seats, so with a little FXR logo. But I like to try to protect those as much as possible, especially with dogs. And then the other side, that is my my youngest daughter wants me to take a stuffed penguin along on my travels if she can't come with me, so he stays in the front. Got some New Year's hats from last night. This center console thing I actually got from Aldi's. Seriously, check the seasonal aisles or the things that may disappear at Aldi's. You find all kinds of amazing things like this seat cover and also this center console. My wife got me the seat cover. Fits in perfectly. This other strap keeps falling off, but I think that's just because of the way the seat is. But I mean, that's a small, very small thing for something that's $6.99 and works great. Let's see, the other seat we talked about. Moving here to the center console, we've got my light setup. So my aux beam light switch that I've wired in. Zero issues with this as well. I've seen some negative reviews on Amazon when I bought it, but I've had no issues with it for over a year. It runs all my lights. Fuse box just mounts under the hood, and you just run you can see a cord right here. You just run the little cord out to the box, and you can power, again, 6 lights, 6 things. So I've got the light bar, the windshield. That rear thing is for removable lights that I use in the back for camping, and then rock lights, siren. Then I just put camera on there just for fun. I'll be honest with you. Let's see, moving on. Velcroed in my GoPro batteries here with the charger, which goes right down into the USB, so that way I can keep my batteries charging at all times as I'm out on the trail. Moving up, tuner, SCT tuner. Great Black Friday pickup. Really woke up the Ecoboost, let me tell you. I will eventually get a custom tune, but right now I'm just running the tune that came with it with cold air intake. I run the 87 octane. I'm sure I'd see more butt dyno gains running the 93, but this is New York and gas prices aren't the greatest, and it's winter time, so I just run the 87. Still, between stock and putting this tuner on, let me tell you that Ecoboost is a complete different engine with this tuner on. I just keep it for the data logging and the gauges. It's just a little magnetic mount right here to the vent. iPhone, iPad mount up here, bullet point mounting setup back here. I tried probably like 6 or 7 different iPhone mounts before finally settling on this one about 6 months ago, and haven't looked back. In my opinion, the best phone mount on the market for trucks, Jeeps, anything. So got the iPad one again and the iPhone one. They just kind of mount side by side. iPad was a Christmas gift from my wife. Thank you, babe. I love it. I'm able to keep the big maps up here from Onyx, and then if I'm doing any tracking or everything, I do that straight off the phone. But it's a whole lot nicer than trying to follow maps on a tiny iPhone, let me tell you. So in my opinion, grabbing an iPad for overlanding, off-roading is pretty close to a must. It's just, if you're like me and you just like to see things in bigger detail and kind of see what's around you, grab an iPad. Communications wise, I have a handheld Midland radio down here. I kind of use that for if I hop out of the truck, like if I'm riding with other people for GMRS, for kind of like caravan communications and things like that. And then I've got the hard mount Midland radio, also Christmas pickup. Hard mounted it in there to the side. Kind of reach over since I'm coming from the driver's side, but just kind of ran everything that way. And then I have the handset mounted up under here. Right now I've got it, volume's off, but the NOAA radio station is on, since I've got that winter storm / lake effect warning coming in here soon. That's pretty much the front seat. I got a steering wheel cover, just small doodads, things like that. Nothing really planned upgrade wise for the front seat. Just keep some, like, that's a magnetic mount for my wife's phone, and she rides along with me, things like that. So yeah. And then for the hard mounted Midland radio, I keep the stubby antenna. I just mounted it right out here to the front, and then just ran the antenna cord up underneath the hood. So this stubby mount actually works pretty good. Yeah, that is the interior of the truck, and I'm gonna go back so you all can see my face, and I will talk upgrades and close this video out. All right, let's talk planned upgrades. There's two huge glaring ones that I want to get done, obviously as soon as finances allow, but the first two on the planning board is going to be a front mount intercooler from CV Fabrications, along with the hot and cold side piping and the turbo inlet tubes, and also the charge pipe. So I'm going to do all the piping, CV Fabrications, along with the front mount intercooler. Main reason behind that is I will be pulling the off-road lights off the bumper and installing a winch. Peace of mind with me for the winch, especially with snow banks, sketchy areas of a trail when I'm out camping, things like that. It's more peace of mind. Also, I'm getting older. I got a bad back, and hand winching a full-size rig out of a mud hole is not fun. Trust me. I haven't done mine, but it's not fun. So again, that's why I tend to wheel more conservatively, based off the fact I don't have a winch. Obviously the hand winch will get me out of situations that I'm going to get myself into. So I'm not really that concerned, but just having a winch, it makes life so much easier. And again, because this is an Ecoboost, your intercooler sits down there. So I've got to move the intercooler first, hence the front mount intercooler setup with the winch. So those will be the first two upgrades done. Like I said, under the hood, the cob, overflow reservoir cover, and radiator shroud, that will also be done. And then again, as with any project, any work in progress, I'm gonna find things that I'm gonna be like, oh, that's nice, upgrade that, or upgrade this, or upgrade that, so on and so forth. So, and then again, as you know, you get certain mileage, rebuild shocks, things like that. So there's always going to be something to do with the truck. But and then, so yeah, I mean, work in progress at all times. Dog's got zoomies, if you can see in the back. It's hilarious. It's so funny. And then grill wise, again, I would like to get my hands on an STX grill, OEM style, and then put that black flag, black American flag Ford emblem cover that I have on the back. Again, I'll put that on the front to cover up the Ford emblem, or maybe even get a black Ford emblem and put one on the front and the back. That may look cool as well. So STX grill definitely is on the upgrade for 2025. I would like to get that done. And then again, small things, tailgate letter inserts for the F-150 in the back, maybe, things like that. And then blacking out the F-150 XLT, side emblem. Just minor things, but that's about it. Again, that's the rig. I realized at the beginning I didn't really talk much about the actual rig itself. So it is a 2019 F-150 XLT. This one specifically is a Canadian built one. Was built in Dearborn, Michigan, but shipped to Canada to Canadi Ford in Ottawa. A lot of people don't know this, but they make what's called the FXR package. You can YouTube the FXR package and they'll tell you. So basically it's a Canadian version of build your own F-150. So you start with a base model XL, XLT, Lariat, whatever, so on and so forth. And then you have 3 different stages that you can use that the dealership puts on for you. This one's a stage 2, so it came with color matched front and rear bumper, a 2¼ inch level in the front, the cat skin seats, pedal commander throttle response, a Borla, I think it was a Borla, I can't remember, but I replaced it with a Flowmaster exhaust, Flowmaster stubby exhaust. Oh, I did forget to talk about the exhaust, but yeah, it's under there. Little short exhaust. Best sounding one I could find, Flowmaster FX. This makes the Ecoboost actually sound somewhat decent. My old truck was a Ram 1500 with the Hemi. So yeah, I was kind of used to that sound with a Flowmaster, but it doesn't sound too bad. Getting back to the FXR package, again, it was the color mounted bumpers, things like that. I can't remember much off the top of my head, but so yeah, and that is the rig. Magma red, but we'll switch it around here. So yeah, that's about, I mean, that's it. Nothing too crazy. I love it. It's a great truck, handles great. 45,000 miles on or something like that, can't remember. I'm gonna run it till it's dead. I'm gonna run this Ecoboost till it dies and put another Ecoboost in. I don't know, we'll see. But I mean, by then the rate we're going, we'll have flying cars for all I know when I'm in the market for a new vehicle. So we'll see. Oh, light bar, I'm sorry, when I pull the front lights out for the winch, I'll be putting a light bar in the front as well. But anyway, I am going to move on, and I appreciate you guys hanging in and watching this walkthrough. I will be putting links to everything down in the description. Again, like I said, if you got any questions, any, you know, even advice, ideas, something that's on your F-150 works great for you that you didn't see on mine, drop it in the comments below. Always open to things that work. So yeah, but I appreciate it. Please hit like, subscribe, helps the channel out. Again, I'm trying to get this channel up and rolling for full-size off-roading and also off-roading up here in New York State. So all likes, subscribes, bell clicks, all those things definitely helps out the channel. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing new year, and thanks for coming along. John with the Raven Off-Road. Y'all take care.